How can I not be happy always? I'm from the streets of Africa. Thank you, Burna Boy, for that one. Hello and welcome to it. You're watching #Africa. In the next 15 minutes, we'll be taking a comprehensive look at some of the stories that dominated headlines. I'm Tutuzile Ramela. Now, this past week marked a year since Robert Mugabe was removed as Zimbabwe's president. The army rose up against Mugabe and his wife Grace, placing them under house arrest in November last year. Troops patrolled the streets and took control of state TV. They confirmed no harm had been brought to the Mugabes. The overthrow is said to have been triggered by the dismissal of Mugabe's then deputy and eventual successor, Emmerson Mnangagwa. Mugabe tendered his resignation after being expelled from ZANU-PF. Parliament had already begun an impeachment process to end his nearly 4-decade rule. The longtime leader had been trying desperately to cling to power the week before. Now, there were loud cheers when his resignation letter was read out in Parliament. Mnangagwa was installed as interim president until the election in July. Zimbabwe finally went to the polls at the end of that month to begin an era without Mugabe. Nelson Chamisa went head-to-head with Mnangagwa as the MDC provided ZANU-PF with its stiffest challenge. ZANU-PF emerged victorious, but the MDC went to the Constitutional Court, arguing that the results were rigged. The court dismissed this bid and Mnangagwa was installed as Zimbabwe's new president. Staying with another country heading to the polls, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Martin Fayulu will lead the bid by opposition parties. The various opposition parties decided at a meeting in Geneva to field a joint presidential candidate for the polls on the 23rd of December. Fayulu will take on the ruling party's Emmanuel Ramazi, who was handpicked by current President Joseph Kabila. Fayulu has a mammoth task ahead of him as the country grapples with Ebola, corruption and conflict. But are the opposition parties ready to govern? That is a question I am going to pose to Dr. Melo Kimwana Nakea of UDPS, and he's the senior advisor. He joins me in studio. Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour, Doudou. Comment ça va?
Ça va très bien.
Merci.
Merci. Let's start with these divisions. Barely a week since signing that agreement in terms of opposition parties in Geneva, and already UDPS has pulled out, as well as Vital Kamerhe of UNC. What is going on?
First of all, I will say that we have been facing a plot, a coup, an attempt, a coup to overthrow the majority leader of the people, Felix Tshisekedi. Because if you go to the survey, we are the majority in 26 provinces of DRC. With fraud or without fraud, we are the leading opposition party. The Kofi Annan Foundation failed again as an imperialist to come to impose a puppet who can be swallowed up easily by Shadari and Kabila's corruption machines.
How did you get yourselves into this? You flew all the way to Geneva in Switzerland to sit in this meeting where two of the candidates are even barred from taking part in the election, and that's Moise Katumbi and Jean-Pierre Bemba. Why did you go all the way to Switzerland? Was there nowhere here on the continent that you could have found a solution, a lasting one at that?
Dudu, thanks. What is happening here is that our late President, Chief Dr. Etienne Tshisekedi, led the movement of National Popular Revolution for the Congolese people for 37 years. Before to die, he gave a good instruction to all of us to be united as an opposition, because Kabila's machine has got a lot of hands in the international community who are mostly interested in minerals, looting, fraud and corruptions. Therefore, we're supposed to have some party with us to make things easy when we are going to the election in the 26 provinces. That's why, before he died, in 2017, we agreed to have former supporters of Kabila. Bemba has been working with Kabila. Moise Katumbi, Vital Kamerhe, Fayulu, all they've been working with Kabila in the institutions. We are the only UDPS for 37 years. We have been not part of their institutions. We trusted them that we will be a united front. But in Geneva, it's where we discovered, in fact, those are spies. They are working for the imperialists. They are working for Kabila. to give Shadari a easy vote. If you take Fayulu in front of Shadari, you don't need a fraud. It will be squeezed, destroyed, because he has no support on the ground in 26 provinces. The reason was to have a front, united movement to face live and direct Joseph Kabila. But as I'm telling you, we are no more with that platform. We are going as a UDPS, the main opposition, with the people.
So you're contesting this election independently.
We are going.
What is it that you are offering the people of the Congo? You talk about how you are a party of the people and you've been around for so many years. We do know what the Congo has gone through under King Leopold II, under Mobutu Sese Seko, now Joseph Kabila. What will be different about you guys?
The difference is that we are day by day increasing our consciousness mind, in the sense that we need freedom, we need state of law, we need democracy. If you can see with Joseph Kabila, we are in the banana republic, where there is a looting, killings, which must be stopped by constating in the election, where there will be a legitimated and legal institutions to rule DRC, to create jobs, to develop the economy, and to give up peace and national reconciliation. This is the weapon President Felix Tshisekedi has got in 26 provinces to unite the Congolese, to bring peace and democracy, and to make sure we are targeting fraud, corruption and mismanagement, and to have a good relationship with Rwanda, Uganda, who are really controlling the eastern part of DRC by helping Kabila to stay longer in power.
Sure. That's a big accusation. When you talk about the issue of fraud and corruption, a real concern when we're coming to the election on the 23rd of December, you are contesting also the electronic voting system.
Yes. Basically, what is happening here is that first, Kabila's mandate ended in December 2016, and Kabila has been playing delaying tactics to remain in power. By today, his mandate is unconstitutional and illegitimate. Why we are going to the election? Because the people of Congo need freedom. But another issue of the electronic voting machines, it's also against the Constitution and the Electoral Code. There is no way in the Constitution and the Electoral Code, it is written, we have to use the electronic voting machines, which, to your information, are carrying already more than 10 million votes with the names of Joseph Kabila and no Shadari. Our spies came to report from South Korea that those electronic voting machines are carrying the names of Kabila as the candidate, not Shadari. Or Kabila is not part of the election.
Do they have tangible evidence?
We are the main opposition party, and we are protecting our sources. We cannot disclose, but I can guarantee you we are going to the election with or without the voting electronic machines, and will be defeated them. All of them.
In closing up the conversation, you speak about Uganda and Rwanda not wanting the Democratic Republic of Congo to work for whatever interests in protecting Joseph Kabila. When you look at the international response, as well as a response from the continent, or silence rather, which is so loud on what is happening in the Congo, what do you make of that?
That's the problem Africa is facing. We are having an affair with a corrupt international community which is totally interested in looting minerals and resources of Africa. You'll discover the more the international community is getting involved in peace process in one African country, the matter became worse. Why? Because they are already signing contract with one party who will be used by them as a puppet for them to loot minerals. And we say thank you to His Excellency Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa. Since he took over your state government, he put some effort as a SADC region, pressure on Kabila. Number one, not to go again for the third mandate. Number two, we have to go on the 23rd December to the elections, irrespective of the situation on the ground, because we believe the electronic voting machines failed to give them what they are looking for. It means the response is very poor. In that poverty, there is fraud and corruption attitude of the imperialists. They want to put in place someone that can manipulate with remote control. That's the problem we are facing.
That's where we leave it. Dr. Melo, merci beaucoup. Thank you very much, and all the best with the election. We'll be keeping a keen eye to see.
Merci, Dudu.
Do stay with us. When we return, the UN is worried about how slowly donor funding is coming in for the fight against militancy in West Africa. More in a moment.